Next video. In today's video I will show you how to trigger a local notification on a button click using the Godot game engine, and this is specifically for Android, so we will be creating an Android plugin for it. Now I have already made a video on how to do this step by step, so if you are interested you can watch that first, because here I will only explain you how to do things. I won't do it by myself. So first I will show you guys the output. So here is a button, and if I so here you can see at the top there is no notification as such. So this is just like wireless debugging and this app launch monitor, which is separate app running in my phone. So if I try to click to trigger notification, here you can see that a notification has been generated called my app and the title is hello. If I try to press it again, you should see that it is generated again. So yeah, that's it. Let's get started. So as usual, firstly what you will have to do is open Android Studio, and here I have just written some cheat sheet following the Godot documentation, so that I don't have to refer the documentation again and again. And first you have to create an Android project. So it can be an empty views project or a Jetpack Compose project, that doesn't really matter. Once you create that project, what you will have to do is you will have to right click on your project, just click on new module, select Android library, and you can give your library any name. I have already created it calling my library, which you can see over here, and then click on finish. Also, if you want to change your package name, you should, like, don't use com.example. I think your app might get rejected if you use com.example, so use whatever makes sense to you. Next, once you do that, go to the Android tab, and here you can see that inside my library, first thing which I have to do, like before I forget, is inside my library you will have to create this folder called res. Inside that, create a folder called drawable, and here you can add an XML file. Like, this is an SVG file which you have to convert to XML for Android, because Android does not directly take SVG files, or you can use a JPEG or PNG file as well. Like, the reason we require an image is to display it on the notification, so this can be your app icon as well. So first add that. I'm telling you this, otherwise I will forget later on. So that's the first thing. Next, you will have to go to Kotlin plus Java, and here you will have to add this a file called Godot Android plugin. Just let me check. Okay, before that, just create this file Godot Android plugin, and next you will have to go to build.gradle.kts of your library. Okay, so this one, and here you will have to add this a third-party dependency. Now I have already so I'm using Godot 4.2.1 at the time of this recording, but if you are using some higher version, do make sure you change this version as well. So this depends on like, you can just go to Maven Central and search for Godot engine, and you should be able to see what is the latest version of this. So you should use the latest version, and depending on what version of Godot you are using. Next, just click on sync now, so you will get everything inside this library. Next, you will have to create once you have created this Godot Android plugin, you can just copy paste this imports for now. Next, you will have to create a plugin. So here I have given the plugin as my local notification plugin. Just be careful with this plugin. Whatever name you give, you have to remember the name of the plugin. Sorry about the background noise. Next, we have to create a request code permission and required permission. Like, from Android T and above, we require post notification permission as well, but if you are using below Android T, we don't require this permission. Now this notification data, I have just created a variable so that we can pass some string data from Godot side to this native Android plugin, like whatever string you want to display it inside your notification. Next, this is an overridden method called on Godot setup completed, and once the setup is completed, here you can see that I'm just creating a notification channel, and this notification channel is required if you are using Android O and above. So here you can see that here you can give a channel name if you want to, and the importance I have kept it as default. If you want, you can give us some description as well. And this is how you create a notification channel, and this method will be called from the Godot side. So here you can see I'm passing this data colon string, and I'm setting it to our variable. Then if it is if your user is above Android T, then I'm requesting permission. If not, just show the notification. and inside request permission we are just calling this required permission and code permission which we have defined above, and we are using activity compat dot request permission for this. And once the user has granted or rejected the permission, the callback comes over here. So if the request permission is granted, then we call show notification. Otherwise I am just displaying a toast message, but if you want you can handle it the error message however you prefer to. And this is a helper method which I have created just to check whether the permission was granted or not. And here again the to show the notification, all we have to do is we have to make use of a notification manager. Then we can set the content text, so with the one which you will send from the Godot side. And here you can set the content title to whatever you want to, like if you want you can send this from the Godot side as well, or if you want you can set it as your app name. And if you remember, the set small icon is over this. So here you can see the icon like the xvg which I have added in the drawable. I am using it over here. So r.drawable dot whatever the name of your file is, dot build, and here you can just call notification manager dot notify, and this id should be 1. I think yeah, the notification id can be anything. I think it's better to keep it as 1. So yeah, that's it. Next what you will have to do is you will have to go to project directory and go to your library. Inside that create a folder called export scripts template. Now create another file called export underscore plugin.gd, and here I have just copy pasted everything from the documentation. The only thing which you have to change is the plugin name. So whatever plugin name you have given, you have to write it over here. Okay, the next thing is again you will have to create a file called plugin.cfg. Again I have copy pasted this from the Godot docs, and only change you will have to make is this name of your plugin. Also if you want you can change the description and author name as well. Okay, let's see what else is the next step. Okay, also you will have to go to your Android manifest. So Android manifest of your library, and first you will have to add this permission of post notification permission, because that is required from Android 10 and above. Also you will have to add this application and metadata. Now be careful with this should be your plugin name. Okay, and from where you will get this, so just go to your Godot Android plugin, copy this package name over here, whatever is your package name, this should be this, and this is the Godot Android plugin class name which we have created. Okay, next what you will have to do is, so we have done with this, we are done with this, we are done with this and this as well. Okay, next you will have to open your terminal, cd to your project, not to your library, cd to your project, and then run this command. Once you do that, you should be able to see. So if you go to your Android project, go to your library, go to build, then outputs AR, and here you should see 2 AR files. Okay, here it is not visible because I have copied it to my Godot project, which we will do just in a while. Next you will have to create a Godot project, and here you will have to create a folder called add-ons. Inside that create a folder with your plugin name, so be careful with this. Next inside this folder itself you will have to copy export plugin and plugin.cfg which we had created over here. Okay, so just copy these 2 files. Next inside the plugin name, also plugin folder as well, you will have to create a folder called bin, and inside that you will have to create debug and release folder. Now inside this debug and release folder, so the files which you will generated, the file name should be like my library dash debug.ar and my library dash dot release.ar, something like this. So what you will have to do is you will have to go to your Godot project, copy those 2 files, and you will have to paste it, the debug one inside the debug folder and the release one inside the release folder. But make sure you rename it to something like this. So whatever is your plugin name dash release.ar, same for debug, whatever is your plugin name dash debug.ar. So once that is done, here you can, what you will have to do is you will have to go to project settings, then go to plugins and make sure you check this checkbox. Next you will here you can see I have just created a button, and if you see the script I have so this is important. Again this should be your plugin name, so this should be your plugin name, and on ready I am loading our plugin, and on button press I am calling the trigger notification. So the method name should be same whatever you have defined it over here. So trigger notification, because it is marked with the annotation of @ used by Godot, and I am sending some variable like some string data to this. Next, what you will have to do is project. You will also have to click on install Android build template. Like this is pretty simple. And next you will have to go to export. You will have to click on add Android. I have already added it. You will have to click on this use Gradle build checkbox. Also you will have to enable the architecture for the device, Android device which you are running. If you don't know, make sure you check all the 4 checkboxes. What else? So we are done with this as well. We are done with this. Also you might be seeing a fix import error. So if you go to project export, here you might be seeing a fix import error. Just click on that, it will handle everything for us. Next you will have to also go to editor settings, and you will have to add your debug key and Android SDK path. You can just Google search for it. Like for Mac, the debug key is on this path. If you want, you can copy paste it to desktop and then add it to your Godot directory inside editor settings. Just search for Android. Also if you want, you can check the use Wi-Fi for remote debugging, because that's what I'm using. But yeah, if you are comfortable with USB debugging as well, that's fine. So yeah, I think that should be it. Thank you for watching. Bye.